sure I won't scratch it or anything?
I hope not. Now go ahead and turn your wheel all the way this way. Now go ahead and stand that bike up. Right here with me. Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Right
Still
on.
kind of iffy about it. It's a little heavy still.
All right, it's a little bit of a bigger bike for such a little person, but I mean, you can handle it. You know, you stood it up. Yeah, you're a little smaller than I am. So Chelsea, some of the characteristics, this is a Heritage Softail, okay? It's a 103 cubic inch motor, 6-speed transmission. As you can see, these are all Softails down through here. Now there's some main things that, you know, make a Softail. And one of the things I like about it having a shorter inseam is normally you will sit a little lower to the ground on a Softail, okay?
Okay.
Also on this bike, it has the dual mono shock. If you look, well, as you see back here, there's no outside shock like you see on the Dyna bikes or the Sportsters, okay? So what this has is a dual mono shock down in here. And that's the characteristics of a Softail. It looks like a hardtail, but it's actually a Softail, okay?
Okay.
So instead of your suspension working up and down like this, it's actually working like this, okay? Nice, comfortable ride.
Right on.
Coming up right up front here, the Heritage is the classic Harley Davidson look. I mean, when people see this bike, they're thinking just all Harley Davidson. Let's go set this up. They're thinking, you know, pure Harley Davidson.
Right, right.
It's the timeless look of this bike. It hasn't changed a lot over the years. As you see, it's got a nice full front fender on there. You have nice 2-up seating. It comes stock with the windshield, with the backrest, with the saddlebags.
Now you said not much has changed with this bike, so what actually has changed? I mean, it's a brand new bike.
The size of the motor, the size of the tranny, basically. Okay. Also, these bikes, as we start this bike, and we're going to do that here in a second, you'll notice this bike's going to have a lot less vibration than the other bikes. And that's another characteristic of the Softail. They all have 103 motors on it now. This one has what we call a 103B, and that B stands for counterbalanced. I could have one of the techs probably explain that counterbalance crank in this bike, what makes this bike run a lot smoother than your
I don't know if
average
I'm all
bike.
interested in that, knowing how that works and all. So.
Yeah, okay, well you'll definitely feel the difference in it.
Right.
Okay, it'll be a lot smoother ride for you.
Right.
Very good. So this windshield is detachable. If some days you decide you want to catch a little more wind, you simply just pull up here on these levers and just pop this windshield, will come pop right off there.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay?
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's simple. Make sure you set it up somewhere where it don't get scratched up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then sometimes they're a little tricky putting them back on there, especially with this one because you got your lights down here.
Right.
But you basically want to line up the bottom of these first, so where you can get this lined up in here. So you might have to finagle it in there a little bit, getting closer.
Right.
Line up both sides. Just kind of put your weight into it a little bit, and it'll pop right back on there for you. Okay?
There, this one isn't lined up. There
There we go.
you go. Oh wow, that's awesome. That's definitely really versatile.
Right on. So if you want to step off the bike, come on around here. I'll show you a couple things on the back here. Come on around your
Where are
way.
we going?
Come right over here. As you see these bags right here, they'll hold a good amount of storage in here. You can probably put a leather jacket in here.
Right. Yeah, you know.
Blanket if you're heading to the concert.
Right.
You got some nice room in there. And then they simply have these little clasps right here. This is how you secure it up.
Oh, so these are just for looks?
Right.
Oh. Now, are there different bag options? I don't know if I'm all about I like the studs, but I feel like that's a little bit much, or is that?
Well, that's a great question, Chelsea. You know, a lot of these Softail bikes, some of the main differences of them are just completely cosmetic. So if the beaded looks a little too much for you, then I'd suggest we come right over here to a deluxe.
Okay.
Pretty much same bikes. That's nice and low to the ground, minus the bags, minus the backrest, minus the windshield.
So I'd have to put that on if I just.
Well, then you
wanted
could have the
different
option
bags.
to pick the bag that you would want to put on there, pick the windshield you'd want to
Okay.
put on there.
So is that like a big price difference? I mean, these already come with bags. I just
They
want
are
different bags.
pretty comparable in price. But I'll tell you what, it's a great question. If you want, let's run up here to the table. I'll get a sheet together. We'll get you some numbers on this bike.
Okay.
And